So in the beginning of this season, I made a video talking about the Philadelphia Eagles and how I thought they were in for an encore to their 2021 season by winning the division and winning double-digit games in 2022. So far, I am on track to reach those predictions, and it's even looking like the Eagles are going to exceed those expectations this season. Before we talk about the Eagles once again, make sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, and show me some love on this video. Hit that like button for me right now. It doesn't take much at all. As well as subscribe for me for more bangers like this. But without further ado, let's just hop into this video. Now let me give you guys a quick rundown on the reasons why I had the Eagles having a big 2022 season. First off, I said that they had one of the best rosters in the league, and that's coming out to be true. Jalen Hurts, more on him in a minute, has developed himself into one of the better quarterbacks in the league, at least for this season, and he's a legitimate MVP candidate right now. He throws to one of the best wide receiving trios in the league in A.J. Brown, Dallas Goedert, and Devontae Smith. And obviously that core is led by A.J. Brown, who is a top-end receiver this year. As of right now, he has 43 receptions, 718 yards, and 6 total touchdowns, which is great, but it looks even better when you compare it to the entire Tennessee Titans receiving core production, as they only have 51 catches, 618 yards, and only 1 touchdown through 8 games of play. Yikes. It's safe to say that A.J. Brown made the right decision in leaving. Dallas Goedert is second in yards from the tight end spot, only to, of course, Travis Kelce, and Devontae Smith is one of the best wide receiver 2s in the league. They also have one of the best rushing attacks in football, led by Miles Sanders and, of course, Jalen Hurts using his legs as well. And that's a big thanks to the offensive line, which is one of the best in the league, if not the best. And they're very physical and punishing as the games wear on. You can really see it in the second half of games when Eagles are salting these victories away. On the defensive side, the Eagles are top 10 in sacks, opposing completion percentage, passing yards, and interceptions. And those interceptions are by the league leader in interceptions in C.J. Gardner-Johnson, who they stole from the Saints, and he has 5 interceptions on the year. They're deep with front 7 talent, as there are 6 guys who have 2 sacks or more on the season. So offenses don't really have one guy that they have to key in on, because there's just so many guys that can make a play. I mentioned CJ Gardner-Johnson, but the best DB on the team is none other than Darius Big Play Slay, as he's been a shutdown corner this year, as he pretty much always is. As I'm making this, we're heading into week 10, and this guy has allowed 15 yards, only 15 yards since week 6. He has 3 interceptions and 8 pass breakups on the year. You get it, the roster is so deep, and there's so many ways, both offensively and defensively, that they can attack from, and that's what's the most difficult for teams to prepare for. And that was my first key. My second key for them was that Jalen Hurts and Nick Sirianni were both going to develop in their second year together. Starting with Jalen, he has been a very decisive quarterback with the ball this year, getting the ball out quickly, and that's credit to the offensive scheme every week for not allowing Jalen to be put in harm's way. Simply put though, Jalen has gotten better as a passer, more accurate and more consistent with that accuracy. That allows him to go make a play down the field, and you can see the confidence just oozing out of him now, and you love to see it if you're an Eagles fan, of course. And I said a potential factor that could speed up Hurts' development was having an elite guy like A.J. Brown to go to, as they've now built one of the best quarterback wide receiver connections in the league. They make each other look phenomenal. Jalen at times has struggled with inaccuracy in the past, while being pressured especially, and that's true for many quarterbacks, but he's done a better job of still making plays even while being under duress. His completion percentage improved from 52% to 68%, and that pretty much tells you the whole story. Nick Sirianni thinks it's a combination of improved mechanics as well as improved understanding of defenses and coverages for Jalen. As he's gained more experience, the better he has become. Speaking of Sirianni, he's improved as a head coach and is evident in the performance of the entire team. They're more consistent now, they're well-rounded, and the offensive and defensive scheme on a week-in, week-out basis is pretty much flawless at this point with that 8-0 record. Now, come playoff time, we will see if he can take that next step when needed, when you really have to dial up the play calling and you really have to be on your P's and Q's. Same thing goes for Jalen Hurts. We will see if he will sustain his success in the playoffs when everything tends to get more complicated and all the little mistakes that you make are magnified. I think luckily for him, though, he's improved in a way that I think will prepare him for the playoffs, and I wouldn't be surprised if the Eagles made a very deep run. My third key for the Eagles' success was that the NFC East would be terrible, and obviously that has not been the case because look what we have here. We have 3 teams with 6-2 or better records, and then the worst team in the division isn't even as bad as we thought they were going to be at 4-5 with the Washington Commanders. The Giants are 6-2 right now, and I think they're the biggest surprise in the division. So in hindsight, maybe the division being tough is actually going to be a good thing for the Eagles. I know people have kind of talked about the Eagles and their relatively softer schedule outside of their division, but obviously there's nothing they can really do about it. They can only beat the teams that are on their schedule, and they will have a lot of divisional opponents coming up, and the division is good this year, so that means the schedule will get tougher for the Eagles, but I think that will prepare them for the playoffs. We've seen teams in the past, especially in this division, that coast through the regular season schedule, and once they get to the playoffs, they fizzle out quickly because they aren't used to stiff competition, and not having that stiff competition allows their flaws to be masked for a majority part of the season. And once they actually play a really good team that exposes those flaws, it's wraps. It would honestly bode well for the Eagles if they dropped a couple games, not purposefully, of course. I mean, if they happen to lose a couple games, I think in the longer run that would be a thing that they can kind of use to learn and grow from, because at those moments in times they can just really emphasize the things that they're not doing well at that moment and get better at it. All in all, I think the Eagles are a legit Super Bowl contender because they play to their identity, which is being the most dominant team on the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball, and I've alluded to that. One of the best, if not the best, offensive lines in the league, and a veteran front four with those guys, and even front seven with those guys being hella disruptive when it comes to getting to the quarterback and making them feel uncomfortable. But y'all let me know what y'all think about the Eagles. What has been the biggest factor in them winning games so far? Are you surprised in them winning? If at all, I know I'm not surprised. I picked them to go 10-7, I believe. But obviously, well, more than likely they're going to succeed that and win 12 plus games or so. I did not think they would be this good, however. So are they Super Bowl bound? And if you don't think they're Super Bowl bound, why not? What do you think they can hold them back? What are some potential weaknesses that they have not and many people aren't really talking about? Y'all let me know that. But make sure to like, comment, share, subscribe. It takes 2 seconds just to like the video, man. Comment and then subscribe for more videos like this, more NFL videos coming soon, y'all. Without further ado, that's pretty much all I have. This is Jimmy from Just the Facts. I'm signing out. Peace.